Dare to know. Have the courage to use your own reason. All our knowledge begins with the senses, proceeds then to the understanding, and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than reason. Thoughts without content are empty, intuitions without concepts are blind. It is beyond a doubt that all our knowledge begins with experience. Science is organized knowledge, wisdom is organized life. The only thing permanent is the mere form of law. Metaphysics is a dark ocean without shores or lighthouse, strewn with many a philosophic wreck. Act only according to that maxim, whereby you can, at the same time, will that it should become a universal law. Morality is not properly the doctrine of how we may make ourselves happy, but how we may make ourselves worthy of happiness. The death of dogma is the birth of morality. An action, to have moral worth, must be done from duty. In law, a man is guilty when he violates the rights of others. In ethics, he is guilty if he only thinks of doing so. Two things awe me most: the starry sky above me and the moral law within me. Act in such a way that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never merely as a means to an end, but always at the same time as an end. Nature is beautiful because it looks like art, and art can only be called beautiful if we are conscious of it as art, while yet it looks like nature. Whereas the beautiful is limited, the sublime is limitless, so that the mind in the presence of the sublime, attempting to imagine what it cannot, has pain in the failure, but pleasure in contemplating the immensity of the attempt. In all judgments by which we describe anything as beautiful, we allow no one to be of another opinion. We are not rich by what we possess, but by what we can do without. Live your life as though your every act were to become a universal law. The human heart refuses to believe in a universe without a purpose. Rules for happiness, something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. Freedom is the alone unoriginated birthright of man, and belongs to him by force of his humanity. Human freedom is realized in the adoption of humanity as an end in itself. If a man makes himself a worm, he must not complain when he is trodden on. Out of the crooked timber of humanity, no straight thing was ever made. He who is cruel to animals becomes hard also in his dealings with men. We can judge the heart of a man by his treatment of animals. Give me matter, and I will construct a world out of it. To be is to do. Always recognize that human individuals are ends, and do not use them as means to your end. Look closely. The beautiful may be small. It is not necessary that whilst I live happily, but it is necessary that so long as I live I should live honorably. Even philosophers will praise war as ennobling mankind, forgetting the Greek who said, "War is bad in that it begets more evil than it kills." A person is only a person when it has the power to make promises. Genius is the ability to independently arrive at and understand concepts that would normally have to be taught by another person. Have patience a while. Slanders are not long-lived. Truth is the child of time. Ere long she shall appear to vindicate thee. A single line in the Bible has consoled me more than all the books I ever read besides. Fallacious and misleading arguments are most easily detected if set out in correct syllogistic form. So act that your principle of action might safely be made a law for the whole world. By a lie, a man annihilates his dignity as a man. The inscrutable wisdom through which we exist is not less worthy of veneration in respect to what it denies us than in respect to what it has granted. To believe yourself brave is to be brave. It is the only essential thing. Ingratitude is the essence of vileness. He who is inflexible in will is his own slave. Nothing is divine but what is agreeable to reason. All thought must, directly or indirectly by way of certain characters, relate ultimately to intuitions, and therefore with us, to sensibility, because in no other way can an object be given to us. The busier we are, the more acutely we feel that we live, the more conscious we are of life. In all judgments by which the relation of a subject to the object is determined, this relation is possible in two different ways. Enlightenment is man's emergence from his self-imposed immaturity. Happiness is not an ideal of reason, but of imagination. From such crooked wood as that which man is made of, nothing straight can be fashioned. Man's greatest concern is to know how he shall properly fill his place in the universe, and correctly understand what he must be in order to be a man. Experience without theory is blind, but theory without experience is mere intellectual play.